Hi, my name is Matt Damon, and I feel good about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
I was encouraging you beforehand, really go after me, and you chose to be a kind man.
The most anodyne answer.
Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I just freaked out my coworkers.
You okay?
I am now. Yeah, I was looking up at the light that's above us.
Is that a bug? Is that a dead bug?
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, okay.
I was just looking up at the light, and I went into a little bit of a trance, and all of you were staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I left my body.
Well, you weren't just in a trance. You were making the sound of like a dripping faucet.
Yeah, I was going.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working a lot lately, and I had something I had to do last night. And so I'm not well rested, and I feel a little high, even though I've taken no substances. So just seconds ago, I was staring up at the light above us when you said, "Okay, Conan, do the intro," and I was doing this with my mouth.
Yeah. It's good.
And I wasn't doing a bit.
No,
I wasn't
good.
trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I was just looking up at the light and making that noise. And then I looked down, and you were all staring at me, as if I were some sort of sideshow freak.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm not. I don't think I'm
Are
okay.
you really tired? Are you tired?
Yeah, a little bit, but you never tell the audience you're tired. You've always want people thinking.
You just prefaced it that you were tired.
Yeah, you said you were
just said you
tired
were
because you
tired.
said you did something yesterday and you slept late. So like you did that. There's no audience.
I just did
here.
what Peter Sellers does as Clouseau, and it's one of my favorite things, but I wasn't doing it on purpose. He walks into an interrogation room and he says, because there's been a kidnapping, and he says, "I'm here, to investigate the murder." And someone goes, "Murder?" And he says, "Who said murder?" And they said, "You said murder." And he said, "I don't say murder."
Yeah.
And I've always loved that. It's such a funny thing. And I just did it for real. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm a little scrambled today, but that could be fun. Maybe that's going to loosen my brain a little bit, and various creative juices will flow. Who can say?
Okay.
I'm worried about you.
Are you really?
Yeah. Well, also you're wearing this very cozy flannel. It almost looks like you're in PJs and that you've kind of just woken up and, or you're ready for bed and that we should tuck you in or something.
I don't wear flannel a lot.
I like it.
That is true.
It's nice.
I should wear flannel a little more often.
Yeah.
We're in the winter months now, which in LA means it's not 72, it's 71 degrees.
Yeah.
It's freezing
So sometimes flannel is necessary.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, come on. That's something I want to talk about. I want to see my breath at night.
No.
I want it to be cold.
I agree.
You never go with me on this, but I like to wear layers. And I was just on the East Coast recently doing some work there, and I was wearing these sweaters, and I was dressed like an adult. I was wearing a pea coat, and I was walking around in it, and I had sweaters, and I would sometimes wear an overcoat, and I'd look like a gentleman. And then I come back to LA, and it's time to put on my who-farted t-shirt. Look, do I think this is a great opening segment? No, I don't.
No, it's
I
not
think
our
we've
best.
lost our way. It started with me staring at a light going,
We started at a deficit.
yeah, exactly, which we inherited from the Biden administration. But to be fair, you can't blame me, even though it's a year into my podcast administration. This is what I inherited when I started this venture 5 years ago. Are you okay? What are you doing?
Beep, boop, beep, boop,
You're doing
beep, boop, beep.
now. You're touching the sides of the mic and
Yeah.
saying beep boop beep
man.
boop.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Okay, you think that because I set such a low bar that now you're free to just completely go.
Can we just do? Yeah. Oh, he's using his,
the old
using his
shaving
microphone
bit.
as a shaver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
No. I think we're showing such disrespect for the people who.
Am I distorted through this glass?
Yes, you are. Yeah, it looks like a Dali sketch. Yeah.
Look at us. We're bringing our A game today.
Well, I respect our audience. They pay a lot to listen to this podcast. Do they pay a lot?
No, they don't pay anything.
Okay. Well, then what are we worried
We're
about?
giving him what that's worth. You get what you pay for, listeners.
You got exactly what you paid for. No, they have precious life. Once again, I ran into someone on the street today here in Larchmont who said that they were just listening to the podcast. We are borrowing chunks of people's life that they will never get back.
Also, I think this might be the last episode of the year. So it's okay if our tanks are a little empty.
No,
you know
it's
what I mean?
not. We have to. Now you've put a whole new level of pressure on it.
Don't blame
Go out with a bang.
Don't blame me. You started this episode making dripping noises.
I clearly wasn't ready, and you, as the maestro behind this whole operation, should have said, "He's not ready. Let's wait." Or maybe we could have had a huddle. Or maybe you could have asked me, "Are you okay off mic?"
I'd be saying
you
that
said, "Are
every
you
day."
okay on mic?" Who does that? What kind of doctor are you?
I thought it made good
So
content.
for some people, this is the last episode of the year. For others, it's the first episode. of the
Oh,
year.
no!
We can't start this way.
Oh God! No, can we do it better?
Yeah, we can
Let's
do better.
I
Let's start again.
Say something.
Well, also,
funny.
Well, can I just say I don't think of the New Year's as the new year. I think of fall as the beginning of the year, and I think this is the
That's
midpoint
because
of
you're
the
still
year.
a child who
That's not
gets
right.
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich
Oh.
and puts
No.
on your short pants and goes off to
That's
school.
good.
And I mean college.
PBJ's good though.
Let's start again because I think we can do better.
Are we
I mean-
starting again for real? Like we're ditching this?
I
or
don't
are
even
we-
know what's real and what's not anymore.
Oh my god!
This is just a weird.
I
This
can
is
count
it.
on.
We're
I
in
think we've-
some sort
You know
of
what?
weird Bermuda Triangle.
It could be because we were off for so long. We're having trouble finding our footing.
That could be
But
it.
that wasn't the case yesterday. We were hitting.
Were we hitting?
Yeah.
We were like,
No, it was
okay.
yesterday. Was
I don't, at least I
thought it
felt
was yesterday was
okay.
pretty good.
We were
Oh,
hitting. We were
okay.
hitting.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like a
yesterday
B
was actually
minus.
very good.
Was it?
Yeah.
I
Since
don't
when do
know.
you have standards? What are you doing?
I don't have standards. That's the problem. Is even I think this is bad, and my standards are really low.
I think right now, and this maybe this is
Yes, you do think.
this is a good thing for people to hear
That's
that
true.
their heroes struggle as well.
I
and
think
we
only twice have we ever ditched a take on something. We
Yeah.
almost always keep things.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you don't want to mention
Say
it.
it. I don't know. Whatever.
What's this now? What are you saying?
I don't
now
give
I'm
a
taking
fuck.
it.
What are you doing? Why did
What
you?
are
I
you
was
doing?
getting.
What
I
am
was
I
pulling
doing?
this whole thing. This is awful. I woke up from my primordial slumber and started to pull it back together again. And then you mutter and reference something and look at you and you make noises with your mouth, but
sorry.
no words.
I know.
Blaming us for this.
Yeah. You're the one who started it. It
All right.
trickles down.
I'm back and I'm better than ever.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, the podcast that delivers every single time with never a false start, never a missed opportunity. Sona Movsesian has joined me.
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, you are here,
Yeah,
and Matt Gourley, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
You look fantastic.
Hey, so do you. Thank you.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm wearing a flannel shirt today.
Yeah.
It's cozy. It's very nice. Bought it just down the street. I'd say the name of the store, but maybe that's cheating. I don't know. Give them a free plug. Faraday. They make a really good sweater.
I
and
like their
very-
stuff.
They have very good stuff, and I'm a
Yeah.
regular customer.
Mm.
But that's not the point. I'm here to talk about what I think is the topic on everyone's lips right now, which is the holidays.
Hey.
Because this is going to air when, Adam?
Late December, early January.
January 5th for most
Yeah,
people.
that's still the holidays.
Yeah.
Or is it? This is so confusing. It's not the holidays.
It's okay.
Can we
No.
go back to the inept one?
No.
You said rap?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought I had saved it. And then I said, let's talk about the holidays, forgetting that this comes out January 5th when everyone's in a deep depression.
Oh,
And just the mere
Jesus.
mention of holidays makes you want to eat a gun.
Okay, let's go.
my
My
God.
birthday's January 7th, by the way.
Oh,
so-
Trust me.
Happy birthday.
Every year at your birthday, I'm excusing myself to try and end it all.
Oh my God. Hey, it's almost the year anniversary of my house burning down.
Oh my God, that's right.
Oh my God.
Let's make it worse.
And your parents'
Let's make it
untimely
worse.
passing.
And
too.
my
my
parents
God,
passing,
your
your
parents.
anniversary. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Did you know what? We got through all of that. And then the greatest tragedy of all hit us, a very bad opening segment.
That's worse
That was
than all of-
the worse than all of those things.
Oh man.
And yet we're still here.
Oh my God.
And I love you, Sona, and I love you, Gourley.
Hey, I love
and
you
together
too.
we're gonna make this year. This is a great moment.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
2026, it can't get any worse.
Yeah. My guest today is an actor you know from such films as Good Will Hunting, The Martian, and The Bourne Identity. Now you can see him in the new Netflix movie, The Rip. What can I say? He's a superstar.
Yeah.
He's an international megastar. He also is a lovely gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Damon, welcome. thank you so much for being here. And we have a lot to talk about today. And I wanted to start with, I have this I think I've brought this up to you before, but not on microphone. We didn't monetize it.
Jesus.
Those are the only conversations that are worthwhile.
I want to sell some ads.
Are you going to talk about the new Buick? What is this?
Matt and I are very excited about the new Buick.
Hyundai.
No, my brother took me to a bar years ago, and this was short. This isn't too long. It might have been a year or two after
Goodwill Hunting.
It's Goodwill Hunting, or maybe early Bourne. It was.
No, it was before that.
It was before
It
Bourne.
was late. It was in the 90s still.
Okay, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm in town. We're both.
Wasn't it like Christmas night or something?
It was Christmas night, and my brother said, "Hey, we could hang out with this is my brother Luke. We could hang out with our parents, or we could blow this place and go." All they did was, create us. We could go to this really cool bar I know called the B-Side, and the B-Side Lounge. And I said, yeah, screw the elderly. And so we go over there, and I walk into this very cool establishment, and just like a really cool place to hang bar. And you're sitting there. And
because Ben and I had the exact same conversation. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly. You guys were escaping, and so I just see you sitting there, and I go over, and you couldn't have been nicer. We're chatting. I think we had briefly met before, but not really talked. And within minutes, you and I are talking about Flannery O'Connor. That's what I remember, and I remember thinking, I don't know that there are many movie stars that would start talking to me about Flannery O'Connor. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was I was like, this guy is...
There are a lot of people who read books, though.
No, there aren't. There aren't. I test a lot of movie stars. Most of them can't read. I
can't read at all.
Yeah. Tom Hanks cannot read.
He can type, but he can't read.
He can type, but it's like a monkey at a typewriter. Yeah. And also, so many huge stars can't. Liam Neeson can't tell time. And I'll ask him, "Hey, Liam, what time is it?" And he shows me his watch and says, "What do you think?" Unbelievable.
But you're
anyway,
scared to answer because of the way he said it. Yeah.
You have a certain set of skills, but not telling time.
You don't have all the skills.
You're lacking.
By the way, Ben and I were extras in a movie called The Good Mother that Liam Neeson was the star of in the 80s. And we were still in high school, and I think it still exists in the movie. They were shooting in Harvard Square, and we went and we were extras, and we walked by Liam Neeson. Wow. Like an adolescent or teenage, Ben and Matt walked by a very young Liam.
Yeah.
That was as close as I ever got to him, but yeah, I'm a big fan.
He is a lovely man too. There's what you just said reminds me that you guys, were good friends long before you became famous, and you were working together and kind of on a mission to make it in this business. And you had I've read before that you had a bank account together.
A Baybanks account. You remember Baybanks?
Of course I do.
Yeah. We had a shared Baybanks account that we would put money in that we had made professionally. So if we got any part, like that extra work, for instance, you get, $50 or $100, depending. If it was a union job, you get $100. And that money would go into our shared account, and that account we could only use for auditions in New York, where we take the bus or back there they the Pan Am shuttle or whatever, or the train. Get down to New York, walk in, which took however long, 5 hours to get down there. You walk into the place somewhere in Midtown, and in 3 minutes they're like, "Okay, thanks." Which is, we used to call it getting "okay, thanks," because you go there and beat your chest and pull your hair out and sob, and they go, "Okay, thanks," and you're done, and then you go all the way back to Boston. But we had this account, and we could use the money for that, or we could use the money for video games at 1001, which was the arcade on Mass Ave.
Yep.
Or, when we got older, if we could find anyone to buy us beer. So those were the three uses for the account. But the account,
you were very responsible young men.
But talk about like intentionality. The code to the account was River P, because River Phoenix was an actor that we really admired. He was our age, and he was getting the kind of parts that we wanted to play.
Yeah.
And so that was our secret code to get into our shared bank account.
I don't know about you, but I think about a lot, and I have wistfully about early experiences before anybody knows who I am. And, you know, I'm headed to something to audition and someone says, well, you should have makeup because it might be a camera test. So I went to a drugstore and purchased makeup at a counter. And the woman said, well, what is it you're trying to do? And I said, they said I need makeup. And then sitting in this is out here in LA, sitting in my 1977 beat up Isuzu Opal and putting it on myself with a rear view mirror. And then going in and being terrible.
But she told you lipstick and blush.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, that Kabuki guy was awful.
Did you see Divine?
You look like Marlon Brando in the island of Dr. Moreau. What is up with that kid?
Yeah. It was a taco commercial. Why?
Yeah, why was he doing that?
Why was he? But I think about those things all the time, and it's funny, I have an affection for that whippersnapper. And I don't know if you and Ben must have so many memories of being an extra. Yeah. And they're telling you, chew more slowly or whatever. Yeah. You have no lines.
Get the fuck away from the craft service.
Yeah, get away.
You know, that's not extras. You know, it's like, it's you know, it can be demeaning work. But we were interested in it and we loved being on sets and it was like, we were thrilled to be there. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of, I mean, you know, the starting out in the business is, I think, you know, my nephew's an actor. It's different now in the sense that they're allowed to put themselves on tape now. Like we never really, sometimes you'd go in and get put on tape, but we didn't have control over, you know, it was a different, auditioning was like, you had to go, show up at the appointed time, you walked into the room and you had one shot at it. And that was it. And now, you know, the younger actors are allowed to kind of, or all actors are allowed to video themselves and work on it until
they can curate it,
they can
get it just right.
Get it to, and say, this is the best representation of me for this part, which is a very different thing. And you know, there's a lot of humiliation in the starting out, as you know, like those things.
I find I'm continually humiliated now.
Well, there's a lot of humiliation in general. It's a very vulnerable thing to do. You know,
I discovered early I was being humiliated, and then I kind of liked it, and then I turned it into a career.
When I did The Rainmaker with Coppola like 30 years ago, he did this amazing thing every morning. You know, when a new actor would come, he would go down to the base camp where everybody gets ready in the morning, and in the parking lot, like right in the, you know, where all the kind of trailers are, he would gather all of the actors and he would play theater games, right? Like sound ball, for instance. And sound ball is this game you play in kind of acting school where I throw a ball to you and I have to make a noise like bloop or whatever. And when you, and it's an invisible ball, obviously. It's not a real ball. It's that.
A space
and you have
ball,
to, it's an air ball. And you catch it and you have to make my sound bloop. And then you have to make a new sound bleep and you throw it to someone else. And it is the dumbest thing in the world, but Francis would do this with all the, I'm talking like Mickey Rourke, I'm talking about hardcore, like very serious people.
I'm picturing the cast of The Godfather now.
No, it was
James Caan.
It was, I know, but it was John Voight. It was like these wonderful actors, right? And the idea was, and Francis would do it, and he would start, and he was this, you know, iconic.
Yeah, of course.
You know, the Godfathers, then Apocalypse Now. I mean, you know, the conversation on and on and on. All of these brilliant movies. And the whole point was to kind of level set everybody at, this is a place where you can be completely foolish and vulnerable. Yeah. And I'm going to do it too. Right. And because that's a part of it. It's like, you really got to put yourself out there if you're doing it right. And so there are the requisite amount of humiliations that accompany that, even as you get successful. Like, you know, if you're doing a tough scene, you might have to break a lot of eggs to get the omelet. You know what I mean? And you have to do that in front of everybody.
I'm thinking about the list of people directors that you've worked with. And it's it's Coppola, Scorsese, help me out here.
There's a lot. There's
Eastwood, Spielberg,
Clint, Chris Nolan.
And you know, the one I'm most interested in kind of is, I mean, they're all iconic directors and amazing, but I don't have a sense of what Eastwood would be like as a director. I've always heard it was like one take, or he's quick.
Yeah. The very first day. So the first time I worked with him twice, and the first time was Invictus. So I was playing a South African rugby player.
Yep.
And that's a really tough accent to do. So I spent 6 months. There's this great dialect coach named Tim Monick, very famous in our world. And he's wonderful. And I've known him for a very long time. And Tim would come. I was living in Miami at the time, and he would come, and I had a little office over the garage. And he would come in from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, we would work on this accent because South Africans speak English. It's like their tongue does the exact opposite thing that ours. Like if I say, I'll be right back, if you say it and you think about what your tongue's doing, they say, I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you
okay.
go, what the fuck just happened in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
So it's very hard to do.
This is why you're an actor and I am not.
But we took it was a lot of work and and fun and great. And I showed up and I'm ready. It's like my chance to work with, one of my heroes. And the very first take, I did it. And meanwhile, I've done this so many thousands of times. I have, a number of different ways that I'm thinking of maybe doing the scene. So he goes, cut, print, move on. And I go, hang on. Boss, I want to do another one. I mean,
I wasn't even in costume.
That was the first one. Like, you want to do it. And he goes, why? You want to waste everybody's time?
Oh my God.
And I went, no, I guess we're moving on.
Oh my
and it was one take.
He was holding a gun.
But there was a kindness in it too. He was a lovely guy. And what was really interesting is the second movie I did with him, there was it builds to a head with this, a scene with me and this 9-year-old kid. And the 9-year-old kid was a non-actor. And we had done one take for everybody, all through Invictus, Morgan Freeman, everybody gets one take. We must have done 40 takes with this little boy because we were trying to get this. It was this kind of huge moment in the film, and we were trying to get this stuff out of him. And Clint was right next to me, like we were right next to the camera together, just working with this boy. And so it was like his whole mentality was your crew will go to the ends of the earth for you as long as you're not taxing them on every shot. Right. When we need to get in there, we get in there. But for the most part, we can, professional actors are going to show up with something good, and we keep the momentum.
I had a chat with Clint Eastwood once briefly, and I told him how much Unforgiven meant to me. And I said, it's one of the most European, it's an American movie that was a huge hit, box office hit, and it's a very European film. And he just sort of asked me, what do you mean? And I said, because everyone's trying to do the right thing and making it worse, which is very much life. And that is not a kind of classic American movie formula. And that movie is magical to me. And he hit me. No, he's...
Want to hear a good Unforgiven story?
Yeah.
That you can cut out if it's too boring for people. But I thought it was really interesting. There was a scene in Invictus. I think I had to give a speech or something to the guys in the locker room or something like that. And we were shooting it the following Tuesday or whatever. And I said to him, hey, boss, that scene on Tuesday, do you mind if I tinker with the dialogue? I've been working on it, but I think I can figure out a kind of a better way to say it. And he goes, yeah, sure, go ahead. And so I came back, and on Tuesday we shot the scene and we did one take, and he printed it and moved on. But he came up to me and said, I thought you were gonna change it and fix it. And I said, yeah, it's a funny story. I go, I wrote it and I rewrote it all weekend. I wrote probably 27 drafts, and then I got it perfect. And I looked back and it was exactly the same as it originally was. And he laughed and he goes, yeah. He goes, that happened to me once. And I go, really? He goes, I had a script and I loved it, and I had it, and he goes, I worked for 5 years on this thing, and he goes, it wasn't getting better, and I couldn't figure it out. And he goes, and then I went back and to the original script that I had, I pulled it out of the drawer and I read it, and I called the writer that day and said, I'm making your script exactly as you wrote it. And I said, no way, what movie? And he said, Unforgiven.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it's all there on the page. I mean, I've looked at the script. It's all there on the page.
Yeah. But it's sometimes we get in that headspace where we go, I bet I could, it would be, you know what I mean? And then,
of course.
But it was a great lesson in kind of returning to what attracted you to it in the first place, right? Like the elemental aspect, the thing that really pulled you in, like, is the reason you're doing it. And so too much tinkering, you can kind of get away from that.
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's this is really stupid, but you're saying very well-spoken, intelligent things, and then I come in with. But for years on the late night talk show, people would have a good idea, and then they'd bring it down to the floor, and it would be different from what they told me. And they would say, "Yeah, I started thinking about it," and I would always say, "When you overthink, you start to stink." And
actually, that's great. That's
Jeez.
I know, kind of a Dr. Seuss.
It is a Dr.
It's
Seuss
not, Matt. It's
of the
not
same-
great.
It's
not.
But couldn't I have? I would do it in that. In like, I have a really smart thing to say, but I intentionally, I think,
exactly.
said it in the stupidest way
That
possible.
is awful.
But then it became a thing that the writers would chant sometimes.
They would chant it.
No, I made that up.
Imagine Clint Eastwood saying that.
That's actually great.
It'd be nice to see.
I think about one of your movies a lot. It's more than one movie. It's a series, but The Bourne Identity, because I do a lot of international travel for work, and I'm constantly going through airports now where you don't even have to show.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah.
Listen.
You're comparing yourself to Jason Bourne.
I get it a lot. People in airports internationally say you're very Jason Bourne-esque. And then they see me run and they go, forget what I just said. And then they put on their glasses and look at my face and go, really forget. No, what I've noticed is that I'll go through airports now and you don't even have to show your passport.
No,
it's
it's
all
crazy.
your eye scan. And I think Jason Bourne is fucked now. Because a big thing with you, with your character was a major fight, throwdown, shootout in the streets of Paris. And then instantly you're in Cairo. And everyone's looking for
He's
you.
a ghost. Yeah,
He's
you
a
can't-
ghost,
yeah.
and you've reappeared in Cairo. And I'm thinking now it's just, you know, your iris.
Yeah, it was kind of a couple years ago that started, where I came back from somewhere and I had the the whatever
Clear?
the global entry.
Yeah.
You know, and that was already pretty easy. You go to the kiosk and you put your passport in and it reads it and takes a picture and goes, yeah, that's you. Now it's like you don't even need to pull your passport out. It's it is. And so he would be totally screwed. Like the whole point was he had 6 passports and they all had different identities and he could speak all those languages and he could just become one of those guys.
Now his safety deposit box has 6 eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Eyeballs you put on, contact lenses. No, I was, and also I remembered I was talking to, I think we were interviewing Emily Blunt once, and she was talking to us about a movie you guys made together where she had to run in one scene. Yeah. And you said it was her first scene where she had to run, and that you called, you very kindly said, Emily, just take a look. Look at yourself running, and here's how you want to, because you think you're running well.
Yeah.
But there's a way, when you think you're running well on camera, but then you look back at it, it can be tragically wrong.
Do you know who told me that?
No.
Was Franca Potente, who was my co-star in Bourne, had starred in this great German movie called Run, Lola, Run.
Mm-hmm.
And she runs in that movie through the whole movie. She's Lola.
Yep.
And she's so badass for the whole movie. She's in these Doc Martens and it's just an awesome movie. And we were on set of Bourne and I had to do a running scene. And she said, Thomas, the guy who directed Run, Lola, Run, they had been a couple for a while. And she said, Thomas told me before I started doing it to go out and he videotaped me running and we looked at it because she said, the only running that we see, is, we see Usain Bolt. We see, the people who can really run and we go, I must look like that.
Yeah.
Right. When you start to run, your arm, like you just look ridiculous.
Yes.
And I thought I ran great. And then I looked and I was like, oh my God.
It's Jerry Lewis.
It really is like everything. And so you start to practice high knees and
High knees
and
keep the arms in the opposite. Yeah.
And it really and so I did say that to Emily, I'm sure, because it
No,
really
she
helped
said
me.
you saved her. It was great. Then did she but it's one of those things that all of us in our mind, if I'm running hard, which I don't do much anymore, but if for some reason I had to run quickly, in my mind I'm Matt Damon or I'm Tom Cruise, but I know I really am one of the big balloons that they have in front of a used car lot that's flopping around. And I shriek, too, as I run, which isn't helping. But
Cruise figured it out early. I remember there's that great scene in Bourne on the 4th of July where he runs through the rain back, before he goes off to war. And
right.
He must have figured it out in the 80s. He was ahead of everybody.
Yeah. He probably has a scientific formula, aerodynamic flow chart.
He runs perfectly. Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about this current movie, The Rip, which is fascinating to me. First of all, I knew nothing about the movie when I watched it. I watched it last night, and one of the things that I didn't realize is that, you're in this I knew nothing, which is not the way you usually experience a movie these days, but someone arranged, Conan can watch the movie. If you log into this, you can watch it. So I knew absolutely nothing. I knew you were in it, and that's it. And it's a movie that you have made with Ben. You and Ben are in it together, and that was a surprise to me. And I thought, this is interesting. This is such a loaded situation for you guys now, because in a very nice way, in a complimentary way, it's this dynamic duo getting back together. But I don't know if you feel the weight of that at all when you guys work together.
We did the movie Air together a few years ago that Ben directed, and we're both in it together. And we started this little studio together a few years ago, and one of the reasons that we started it, I was watching that Beatles documentary, the Peter Jackson
Get
one,
Back,
and at the end of that documentary, there's this incredible scene when they play on the roof together, and it's just. It's pure joy. You see them, the cops show up and McCartney turns around. He's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like the most joyful thing. They're all in their 20s, and then Peter Jackson put this chyron up, and it said, "This is the last time the Beatles played live together."
Yeah.
And I was watching it. My youngest was, I think, 11 at the time, and she just goes, "Dad, why are you crying?" And tears were just pouring down my face, because it was like, it made me so sad that these guys who were just, this was it, that they couldn't get past whatever it was that wouldn't allow them to kind of keep doing it together. And I called Ben and I was like, man, because I think, this was our dream and our lives from the time we were teenagers, and it was something we did together, and we wanted to do movies together, and we wrote Good Will Hunting together, and starred in it together, and all of that. And I think after that, I think we were like, we should try to, make names for ourselves individually.
Right.
So I think we were a little allergic to working together for a while. I mean, we were still very connected and saw each other all the time.
But after a success of that magnitude, you don't want to get locked in.
Exactly.
Great, we'll do the movie. Is Ben in? Or, okay, Ben, but where's Matt?
Exactly.
You don't want to get locked into that.
Exactly. And we had done, Kevin Smith's movie Dogma together right after that. So we were kind of like, all right, we should chill. And then suddenly a couple decades went by, and it was like, now we're in our 50s, we're starting this company, and it's kind of like, I don't care. It doesn't have to be a thing. It doesn't have to be a stop the presses. They're together. It's like, we just like working together.
Yeah. And also what's evident in the movie is you guys have a connection. When you have scenes together, there's a connection that you can't manufacture. It's very clear that you two really love, you're on the same wavelength.
Right.
You're clicked in, and your two characters in this movie. There's a lot of tension between you. There are times where you just want to kill each other, and then as you go on, many things are revealed, and you understand what their true dynamic is. But I don't know. It was something you couldn't have figured that out with an acting coach if you didn't know each other. I don't think.
It helps to have that kind of, We also did, by the way, The Last Duel, another movie that we wrote with, So we're trying. But yeah, no, I think that connection definitely, obviously, kind of loads every scene in a different way.
I think there's the thing that happens. I know in my 20s, 30s, 40s, I was very intense all the time, thinking about every move, and as I've gotten older, I am much more interested in being with people that I really like, that I love, making things with them and enjoying myself, because and it comes a little bit from a place of, oh, who cares? You know, I mean, I just want to do this. I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah.
I just want to be
well,
with.
I think you see that you start to see you're in the second half, right? And you
I
go,
plan to live to 150.
I hope
so
you do.
no.
I hope we both do. So we're still in.
I
we're still
really
in the
don't want to
first
live to
half.
150.
Well, if you could stay healthy, I don't know. Might be great.
I'll be in
but,
constant pain.
Yeah. But yeah, that's literally the whole point of this company is to work with great people that we really want to be with, and and every movie that we make through our studio is even if Ben and I aren't in it, or he's directing and I'm not in it, or we're connected around the work and trying to facilitate whoever's coming in and kind of.
Do you guys give each other shit on set? Or in a professional environment, do you give each other a teasing, like brotherly kind of relationship?
Sure, sometimes.
Like, do you want another take? Because you might want another take, that kind of thing.
Well,
that's what I would do.
I know you would.
I would. That's what I would do.
You would.
Yeah, I think you're going to want another take. But look, the good thing is, I think it really helped with our writing, 30 years ago, 35 years ago when we started. Ben said this great thing, which was, judge me for how good my good ideas are, not how bad my bad ideas are. And it's a very profound thing for a 20-year-old to say, because he wanted he recognized that we needed the freedom to kind of barf out all those ideas, and so often, as when you're writing, it's not, you write down the bad idea because it's iterating, right? That it's like, that can build into a good idea, right?
Yeah.
And so he was basically giving both of us the permission to just keep the window as wide open as we could.
Yeah.
And I mean I forget why I started that story, but I haven't had enough coffee. This coffee is terrific, by the way.
If you want more, we can get you some. They say whenever someone writes their big, great American novel, and it's a big smash and everyone thinks it's genius, they have 9 other ones in their drawer that they wrote before that. And I'm a big believer in, you just have to do time.
Yeah.
To me, the process doesn't change. Like, you could look at your career or Ben's and say like, oh, you guys have clicked off every single box that you would want to check. But still, when you show up, there's work to be done. And you have to be a little scared. And there are scenes where you think, I didn't get this. I got to try it again. And time in the edit room and all of that stuff. If they're paying you, it's work.
Yeah, and it's and we want to love everything we work on from now on. It's kind of going back to your point. And yeah, it's work. It's a hugely labor intensive thing to do, no matter what. I mean, it's if you sign up for it, that means that you're willing to. You can't phone it in. You gotta,
right.
Nor would I want to, take a job for money that I was phoning. Like, I never did that. I always thought whatever I was working on had a chance to be great. Yeah. I was wrong most of the time. but I was working with the intention of it being something really wonderful for people to see. But also,
people don't, the nice thing I have found, this very smart Simpsons writer, George Meyer, told me this a long time ago. Early in my career, when things were not going well, he said, people will remember you for your good work.
Right.
And he's absolutely right. I think about that all the time. He said, you're just laying tile individually, and it's going to make a bigger mosaic, which is what you did with your life. And he was right that the work you made later on that didn't quite click with people, what they do is they seek out all these things you've made that are great, and then they almost rule the other ones out.
Right.
So in your mind, you're saying, oh man, so many times I've been wrong, and that's not what anyone else would say. That's just what you would say.
Yeah, exactly. It just made me think of someone like Shohei Ohtani, where they go like, whatever his career batting average ends up being, if it's 350 or whatever, 320, people aren't going to say, well, he missed 680.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to go, you know what I mean? Like,
I did go to the game and shout that at him the other day. Because even when the Red Sox are out of it, I still go to games and wear a Red Sox hat.
Good for you, by the way. I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
I did have an experience once where Lorne Michael. Sorry, I had an experience. I do that when I think my story is really good. No, Lorne Michaels years ago. This is a very name droppy story, but it was that iconic. It's 2004, and the Red Sox are playing the Yankees, and the Red Sox are way down. And Lorne invited me to a Yankee game. And he said, we're going to pick up a friend on the way. And he didn't tell me who. And I'm sitting in the front of an SUV because he wanted me to make room for the friend. And we pull up, and leaning against a street lamp is Jack Nicholson. And I'm to this day, if I ran into Jack Nicholson, I can't be cool about it, but I just was like, just chill. And Jack Nicholson gets in the back, and he just like, Jack, you know Conan. I'm up in front in that awkward, and I lean through there's a little slit of headrest. And I'm like, hiya, Jack, hey, Conan. And then we go off to the game. And what I remember is sitting with him and Lorne at this game. And Lorne had told me beforehand, don't wear a Red Sox cap, because Lorne had these amazing seats. Right. And he pretty much put all this pressure on me. So I went and I got a hat that had like the Swiss flag. No, just like a black cap. I had to get a neutral cap because I thought it's Lorne's seats. Right. Jack's a big Yankee fan. If I'm wearing a Red Sox cap next to them, this is rude. It was this very hard thing to do. So I just wore a neutral cap.
What happened to you, man?
I know. It's Jack Nicholson, and I buckled. But I remembered him, Pedro Martinez was pitching. And it's a game that the Red Sox lost just before they had this amazing comeback and ended up winning the World Series and breaking the curse. And Jack Nicholson was taunting Pedro Martinez. And he was shouting at him because it was getting a little later in the game. And he went, arms getting heavy, Pedro. Arms getting heavy. And I'm like, fuck, that's good. That is so good.
What a dick.
It's Jack Nicholson.
It's baseball.
It's baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a nice moment with him when we got home and got out of the car. He got out, and I got out too, to just say, it was really nice hanging with you, Jack, tonight. And he went, I guess his son was a big fan of the show. I think Jack knew nothing about what I was doing, but he went, he was like, son's crazy about you, Conan. I said, nice to meet you, Jack. He said, nice to meet you too, Conan. Son's crazy about you. It's Conan this, Conan that, driving me fucking crazy.
That's great.
I was so happy. I got back in the car, and I sat back with Lorne. I didn't get in the front seat this time. I'm like, I'm back here where Jack Nicholson's at. He'll forget you tomorrow. I love to time travel. I love to go back to the guy in the crappy used car that I bought for literally a couple $100 at the airport from a rent-a-wreck, and put on counter makeup, and then think about the things I get to do now, or the things I've been able to do or had the good fortune to do. And I just love time traveling back and forth to visit that guy and go, isn't this crazy? I mean, if you showed up to the you who's a teenager and really into acting and said, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What a delight.
Well, and also to have kind of feel like you won the lottery, but your best friend won it too. You know what I mean? So for we've talked about that, Ben and I, and also just the fact that it didn't seem weird to us in the 1980s that we were 14 and 16 years old, and or 15 and 16, and going to New York by ourselves, right? To audition for things until we had kids, I think, that were that age, and we were like, can you fucking believe that we would just go? Would you just let this kid go to San Francisco for the day by themselves?
Right.
But it seemed totally normal to us. We didn't have families that were in the business. Boston, there's nobody in the entertainment business up there.
I'm telling you, I think your parents were not in the business. My dad was a, microbiologist.
Right.
And my mom's a, estate lawyer. And I never saw anything. There was a local show called Zoom.
Yeah, of course.
And Zoom had kid actors in it, and it was made in Boston. And at the end, they'd say, made at the studio in Boston. And I just couldn't believe someone was making something for television that was in Boston. Yeah. And so those Zoom kids were like the Beatles to me. I just couldn't believe. but I didn't see anybody. I just didn't see anyone. And then Robert Urich made Spencer for Hire, which took place in Boston. That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal. Yeah, we used to watch it every week. Just, it was, and then sometimes you'd go and you see trucks and you were like, oh my God, I think they're shooting here.
Spencer for Hire. Yeah. Well, I remember they shot an episode and they used my high school. This is long after I've left high school. I'm a writer at Saturday Night Live at this point, and I'm in my early 20s, and I'm at Saturday Night Live in this episode. And we were just hanging around the offices, flipping channels at night. And there was Spencer for Hire, and they shot it at my high school. And I became that dick who sat there. I was like, wow, that's my high school. And then Robert Urich's running through the hallways, and he went, you can't get from the science wing to the gym using the A-level stairs. What are they thinking? Right. What an idiot.
Right.
And I believe your mom was she into child psychology? Is that right?
She was a professor of early childhood education, yeah.
My wife's mother, who passed recently, lovely woman, Pam, she had done a lot of work, I think, learning about kids and development, and also as a therapist. And so when I would talk to her, sometimes I'd be reminded, oh no, I'm just telling her the problems with my day. And then I realized that has this incredible intelligence and knowledge that she would apply to it. And I realized, oh, she's psychoanalyzed. Did you have that from your mom?
No, I think in the sense that she understood the stages of development, of child development, and gave my brother and me a kind of everything we needed for our brains to develop the way they were supposed to develop.
Oh, that's good.
In the sense that, back then her big bugaboo was like screens, was television.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How much TV do you watch? What are you watching? And now it's just completely just jumped the shark with screens and the ubiquity of them and what that means for kids and brain development and stuff like that. And we're basically, this is, a species-wide experiment at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because there are these natural things that have to happen for, and it's like open-ended play and things like that for kids that really just help them figure out all the strategies to kind of figure out the world.
And boredom.
Right.
You need boredom.
Boredom was great. I mean, remember how bored you'd be as a kid, and then you'd figure something out. You'd figure out a way to entertain yourself, or you'd go make something up, or
No, I would always say to my wife early on, we got to leave plenty of room for them to be bored. And she said, "Don't you worry. Just tell more of your when I was a kid stories. Tell your Nicholson story again." Kids, he's a big deal. But no, I mean that you're exactly right. It's exactly right. You have to leave room for all of that. And then I do worry about it. I think it's a scary thing.
Yeah, me too.
Because
me too.
When I walk through airports, and I've just thought of this when I was in Hong Kong just recently, everyone was on their screen. And sometimes people would just click. I mean, and they're not even kids anymore. It's everybody. And you just feel like...
I see it with myself, like how quickly I'll allow my attention to kind of get colonized by these devices, this device where I'll just sit there and disappear down a rabbit hole and watch a bunch of, and then an hour goes by and you go, well, wait a minute, like that. Like Chris Nolan's very famously doesn't have a smartphone, and I think he said kind of publicly, it's just, he wants to preserve that time that, the exact time we're talking about where he can think about things more deeply.
Let your mind wander.
Let your mind wander rather than just instantly give it the dopamine hit of Candy Crush or something. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what you're doing for an hour?
No, I play backgammon on my phone. No, I'm like, I've got a quick game of backgammon. And it's like, what am I doing?
You should do one more Bourne movie where you're just on your phone. Jason's on his phone the whole time, alone, and
then cut back to the CIA, and everyone's just on their phones.
And the bad
They're
guys
not looking for him, really.
They're not looking for you. You're not running from them. Nothing's getting done.
Exactly.
And then,
the tech overlords are making trillions of dollars. That's the movie. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the rip. I want to make sure I get it out there that Stephen Yeun's in this.
Yeah.
You have a great cast.
It's a great cast. Teyana Taylor, Stephen Yeun. I mean, it's Kyle Chandler's in it. There's just a wonderful group of actors.
There was one moment where when I was watching it, and I think I heard him before I saw him, but I heard Kyle Chandler's voice, and he said something a little like, now what are we doing here? And I just heard the coach, and I'm like, it's coach, But again, he plays someone completely different.
Yeah.
Because you're all really good actors. Stephen Yeun, he's a friend, and we've done a lot of stuff together. And
he's a phenomenal actor.
I just adore him.
So do I. And he actually he went from doing that to Ben directed another movie that's going to come out next year that Stephen's in. He's in that as well. He's just we love him.
Also, I want to point out the story here is a really interesting one because, and I'm not going to give anything away, but the rip refers to money that I guess has been seized in illegal activity. And you guys, there's so much great lingo in this movie.
Yeah, it's all real cop lingo. It's all based on, Joe Carnahan wrote it and directed it, and it's based on the experiences of loosely based on the experience of this kind of unit down in Miami that. Yeah. They go to, they have units that go looking for drugs, and then they have units that go looking for money, for drug money, basically, and dogs literally that sniff for drugs and dogs that sniff for cash.
That I didn't know. When I saw the movie,
didn't either.
You get to this one house and the dog is sniffing and you know that there's cash inside. And I thought, I've never heard of that, a dog that knows there's cash in there. They'll soon have one that can detect Bitcoin,
Right, exactly.
That server. But it spoke a little bit. It just knows server.
Wait, the dog speaks and it's looking for Bitcoin? We're skipping past the fact that the dog speaks.
I think it's more impressive that it can smell, various chips. Matt's writing now, don't do this podcast again.
No. I'm just on the thought experiment of this.
Both Matts are writing.
I always like it that the least impressive thing an animal does is speak. And it's more like, how did he know which door to go in? Go in the right one. Wow, he seems to know which door to go in. He did speak. One of the things the film does is you have to try and figure out who's playing what angle and, who's right, who isn't right, who's a good person, who's a bad person. And I was calling it. I was being that wise ass. It's like, all right, this, and I got it wrong.
Yeah, you don't know who's who,
I didn't
really.
know.
And it's these guys, they hit this house, they think there's going to be, $75,000 or $150,000 in the house. And suddenly they find $20 million in the wall. And they know that means it's cartel money, which means that they're probably going to come try to get it. They know, so it suddenly becomes this kind of, they're stuck in this house because they have to count the money on site. Which is a rule because to kind of.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Before they can bring it in,
at least in Miami,
you have to count it all on the site because it's too easy for someone. If it's an amount of money like that, someone could take $600,000 and put it in their pocket, and that's just what the count was. So you have to count it there.
So you have to count it together and make sure that everybody agrees what the count is, and then you go and you deposit. You drop it off, and they count it, and it's got to match the number that you report and all of that. So but meanwhile, you have these cops who are their captain has just been killed, before at the start of the movie. And so you're kind of going, something's going on with these guys. Is there corruption within this unit?
Are these people corrupt?
Are they corrupt?
Are the supposed heroes of the movie corrupt?
Are the heroes? Yeah. Can we trust the heroes of the movie? And you don't know. And that's kind of the fun of the movie.
And I do love the jargon. And afterwards, I was walking around the house, say, someone jacked my rib. And Liza was like, shut up. I enjoyed it too, but shut up. I really enjoyed it. And I think I've interviewed you a number of times over the years, but I love it when you stop by and check in because I'm a huge fan of you and your career and your work, and you're a very nice, thoughtful, funny guy. So I love to hang with you.
Back at you, man. I'll come back next time.
I'm not sure we have a space.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I'm sorry. Hey, okay, thanks.
Well, yeah, okay.
Do you realize
I haven't heard that in a while?
Yeah, Matt, this was an audition to get on the podcast. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm out of practice.
We'll let you know.
Thank
Let you know.
you so much. You do have my contact information,
big,
right?
That's how big this podcast has become. Is Matt has to come in and audition. But thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
I was sitting around the other day and my buddy Matt Myra texted me a picture that
Oh.
you might be interested in. If we could throw it up on the...
Sure. Oh my God, what is that?
This is a sign that's posted outside one of your former residences, the Cochrane Avenue apartment. Did you know about this?
I didn't.
Where is this?
It's in LA, right?
Oh,
Yes,
Do you
I
remember
lived.
this apartment?
Of course I do. This was a formative part of my life. When I was first getting started in LA, Greg Daniels and I, our first place, he was my writing partner. He has gone on to many great things. He and I shared an apartment in Brentwood first. Then we realized we need to move out of the West Side and be with the young people because both of us were just desperate to meet anyone our age and have social lives. So we both moved into Hollywood, and I found an apartment. A friend of mine, Cynthia Stevenson, actress, a very talented, incredible woman. She said, "Hey, Conan, I'm leaving my apartment. Do you want to take it over?" And it was on Cochrane Avenue. So I moved into, it was a first floor apartment. This would have been 1986, I think. I think I lived there 86, 87, 88. I didn't go out and shop for any furniture. The only thing
It says that in the sign.
Oh, it does?
And for the listener, they can see this on @Team Coco podcast on Instagram as well as our YouTube channel. And here's what the sign says. Conan O'Brien, former Cochrane Avenue resident. There's a picture of you as kind of like a bronze bust.
Yeah.
Conan Christopher O'Brien is an Emmy-winning writer, comedian, and host who redefined late-night television. From Saturday Night Live to The Simpsons to his own groundbreaking shows, he has brought laughter to millions.
Whoa.
I'd like to fact check on that.
Hundreds.
In 2025, he added another milestone, hosting the Academy Awards. In the 1980s, Conan lived right here on Cochrane Avenue, finishing his apartment with street finds and surviving on ramen noodles and tuna mixed with Miracle Whip.
Yes.
Ew.
Yes.
Oh, God. It was a time of struggle, ingenuity, and questionable mayonnaise-based decisions. From these humble beginnings, this street witnessed the rise of a comedy icon.
Wow.
May this moment, parentheses, a poster affixed with zip ties, inspire Cochrane Avenue residents to chase their dreams, enhance their originality, and one day upgrade to a home with more than one bathroom.
Yeah.
So this is temporary. I didn't realize this. It's foam
is
core
a-
poster
Oh, we
board.
have to. I mean, my God, we've got to. Oh, wow. Look at this.
Dedicated February 27th, 2025 by the Cochrane Committee of Conan Connoisseurs. Actually, just one guy who lives on Cochrane Avenue, occasionally listens to Conan's podcast,
Occasionally.
had some free time and no real authority to put up a monument, but did it anyway.
Who is
That's
this
amazing.
guy?
Or gal.
Okay.
You mean, what?
It says,
one guy.
actually just one guy.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to accuse you of being sexist.
I know.
When actually you're just guilty of paying attention. It could be a no. Oh. Well, first of all, I want to thank this guy because that's really funny. And old me, I always think of Ghost Me, the 160-pound Conan who lived at Cochrane Avenue. And furnished his apartment with all stuff I found on Cochrane Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean,
it was just flea ridden?
I mean, it's just like tables. People used to just
Oh,
put
okay.
furniture out.
I've done
And-
that.
Yeah, lamps, everything. And one of my friends gave me a cutout of the Miss America winner that he had, a life-size cutout of her, in a gown holding, with her sash. And
Yeah, your friend gave it to you. You bought it, and it was your girlfriend.
yes and yes. No, shout out to Randy Klimpert who gave it to me. And I had it in my apartment along with furniture I found, and I thought everything was just fine. And lived off of that diet of ramen noodles.
So tuna mixed with Miracle Whip?
Yeah.
Wait, did you come up with this?
No,
That's an
I-
abomination.
I know. I think it was something that happened back at Kernard. I think the crime started in Brookline, Massachusetts, and then I brought it with me.
That's listed with shellfish in the Bible as an abomination.
Yes. And so am I, by the way. And so, yeah, I lived on Cochrane, and now this is the part of this culture that I find endlessly fun, is someone made that and then put all these self-deprecating disclaimers at the bottom. And it's really fun. I just love that. And I love that someone is memorializing my life on Cochrane Avenue. Back in the day, I would say 86 to 88. And then I left that apartment to go to, I believe, Saturday Night Live.
Did Miss America come with you?
She did. And I was married to her for a while. I was married to a cardboard cutout for 5 years. And then she left me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She said emotional cruelty.
You left her out in the rain.
Yeah. I was crying. She was with Bezos for a while. Anyway, yeah, he built a yacht for her made of cardboard. They sailed the 7 seas until the boat fell apart.
Recycled into some Amazon packaging.
Yeah, she's now a packing tube. Anyway.
That's really cute that a fan did that for you.
It is.
What's
nice.
that?
That's really cool and cute that
I
a
think
fan did that for
a
you.
shout out to that fan. That was a very fun, cool happening to create.
Yeah, whatever gender he is.
I love that. And you know what? Occasionally I passed that apartment. Not too long ago, I passed that apartment because when I'm driving from my house to our studio, I get off the 10, and it depends on what exit I take, and I start cutting north to our Hollywood Larchmont, recording studio. And sometimes I'll find myself on Cochrane, and I always pause and just look at that apartment and go, oh yeah, that kid did okay.
Did all right.
And then a policeman always says, move it along. Nothing to see here. He's a 1920s.
He's got that little
He's got the nightstick.
Yeah, the nightstick.
Baton. All right, move it along. Move it along there. No more visiting Ghost You of 1986. Move it. He always knows exactly what I'm doing. That's just a trick of the mind. Move it along. No more Ghost You. Those days are past. There's only now. There's no future and there's no past. I'm like, wow, he's done a lot of work. Oh no, it's a Buddhist mantra.
He's the ghost.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you, random fan who occasionally listens. Whoever you are, that was a cool thing to do.